Hello, and welcome to today's discussion. I'm Sonia.
And I'm Simon. We'll be covering several key business stories that have emerged recently.
Let's start with Starbucks, which has reportedly scrapped its AI inventory tool across North America. The tool was introduced about 9 months ago under CEO Brian Niccol to address stock shortfalls.
That's interesting. So they implemented this AI tool and then quickly reversed the decision. What were the reasons behind this, according to the reports?
The reports suggest that the AI tool was making errors, miscounting, and mislabeling store items. This led to the decision to revert to manual counts.
That raises questions about the effectiveness of AI in inventory management. Were there any specific issues mentioned with the tool's performance?
The articles indicate that the tool was not accurately counting inventory, which likely caused stock discrepancies and other operational issues.
So it seems like the implementation was rushed or perhaps not thoroughly tested. Do we know if other companies are watching this decision or if it's seen as a cautionary tale?
While the reports don't explicitly state that other companies are directly watching this, it's likely that businesses using or considering AI for similar purposes will take note. The story highlights the challenges of integrating AI into operational systems.
That's a valuable insight. Moving on, China has been cracking down on illegal brokers in cross-border trade. Tiger Brokers was among those targeted. Can you explain what's happening here?
The China Securities Regulatory Commission, CSRC, is penalizing brokers who conducted securities-related business without the necessary approvals or licenses. Tiger Brokers, along with others like Longbridge and Futu, were mentioned.
What exactly were these brokers doing that was considered illegal?
According to the CSRC, they were offering access to overseas stocks without proper authorization. This is part of a broader crackdown on illegal cross-border trading activities.
How significant is this crackdown, and what are the potential implications for these brokers and their clients?
The crackdown indicates China's commitment to regulating its financial markets more tightly. For the brokers, it means facing penalties and potentially losing their licenses to operate in certain capacities. Clients might see changes in how they can access international markets through these platforms.
That's quite significant. Shifting gears, there's been a development at the World Trade Organization involving India and China. India has blocked China's request for a dispute panel regarding India's support measures for the solar sector.
Can you walk us through what this dispute is about? China alleges that India's support measures for its solar cells and modules, as well as certain technology sectors, discriminate against Chinese goods. India maintains that its policies are in line with WTO rules.
So India is essentially arguing that its measures are legitimate under WTO norms. What are the next steps in this dispute?
The reports indicate that China can renew its request for a dispute panel at a future WTO meeting. This suggests the matter is far from resolved.
Let's move on to another story. UK retail sales have dropped significantly, largely due to a decline in fuel purchases. What are the details here?
According to the official figures, UK retail sales fell by the most in nearly a year in April. The decline was primarily driven by a sharp drop in fuel sales, likely due to drivers conserving fuel amid uncertainty related to global conflicts and rising energy costs.
That's a substantial drop. Are there any other factors contributing to the decline in retail sales, or is it mainly the fuel sales?
The articles highlight that fuel sales were a major contributor. The overall retail sales figure was impacted significantly by this. How does this fit into the broader picture of consumer spending in the UK? Are there signs of waning consumer confidence or other economic factors at play? The reports suggest that against the backdrop of rising energy costs and global tensions, consumer spending is showing signs of strain. This decline in retail sales adds to those concerns. With the objective of Europe-wide distribution, it seems like there's a lot going on in various markets. Let's touch on some regulatory announcements from European companies. There's been a series of releases according to Article 40, Section 1 of the German Securities Act. Can you explain what these releases are about? These releases are related to voting rights announcements by companies like PNE AG, Aixtron SE, Bilfinger SE, Gerresheimer AG, and Merck KGaA. They're required to distribute this information Europe-wide under the German Securities Act.
What kind of information is typically included in these announcements?
The announcements usually contain details about the company's share capital and voting rights. This is important for transparency and compliance with securities regulations. Are these announcements significant for investors, or are they more routine compliance matters? While they are compliance-related, these announcements can be significant for investors as they provide important information about the company's ownership structures and potential changes in voting rights. As we wrap up today's discussion, it's clear that there are various factors influencing business and economic landscapes globally. From AI implementations to regulatory crackdowns and trade disputes, there's a lot to keep track of.
Absolutely. And it's not just the individual stories that are important, but how they interconnect and reflect broader trends in the economy and global trade.
Well, that's all for today's episode. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, and we'll see you next time.